Hello everybody, welcome back to the show. Let's go ahead and not waste any time and just get started because today I want to make a vacuum freezer. So these are the parts I'm going to need for the vacuum freezer. As you can see, obviously the control block, and it lets us know that it is a 3x3x3, which is good. We will also need input and output. That's probably fairly obvious. The maintenance hatch, as always, and an energy hatch. Now I looked through NEI and it seems like all of the recipes fairly well only require 120 EU per tick, so I can get away with using an MV energy hatch, at least I believe so. Now this vacuum freezer itself is based upon high voltage type stuff. So there's one of these frost-proof machine casings, but 3 high voltage pumps, these data control circuits, and some gold cables. Actually fairly simple to make, all things considered. And these frost-proof machine casings are made with aluminium. So if you remember in the last episode when I made the distillation tower, and each one of those blocks required 8 stainless steel ingots. Same kind of principle here. Each one of these blocks requires 8 aluminium ingots. And so I had to make 21 of them, 22 if you include this one here. 8 times 22, 176. So you're looking at about almost 3 stacks of aluminium ingots. Yes, so not nearly as expensive as the distillation tower, but still, you know, something that takes a little bit. So yes, this is yet another multi-block structure for GregTech. If you can't tell, GregTech really likes the multi-block structures. So let me put this sucker together. We'll see what it does. Okay, vacuum freezer. I really like the color of these blocks too. I thought that the stainless steel blocks was maybe my favorite, but this is brighter, and I don't know, there's something about it that I don't know, I just kind of like it. So I've hooked everything up and I've given it power and whatnot. I still need to duct tape it up. I'm running out of duct tape. I'll have to make some more here pretty soon. So over here in the maintenance hatch, like so. And so now we've got no problems. Okay, so the vacuum freezer is ready to be used. What do we use the vacuum freezer, you're probably asking? Well, you know, every once in a while, a situation may arise where, let's say that you head down to where your nuclear reactors are, and you discover that one of your nuclear technicians has mysteriously passed away. And it wasn't at all because he kept laying eggs and just being generally annoying. No. It was obviously some type of nuclear accident, and obviously, as everybody knows, irradiated chicken is delicious. But you probably think to yourself, yes, but I don't want to eat the chicken right now because I'm not hungry. What's the best way to keep it fresh? Well, obviously, you put it into the vacuum freezer. So on the input side, we put in the raw chicken, and we will need a soft hammer to start the process. There we go, soft hammer, yeah. And begin. Yeah, this vacuum freezer doesn't do anything with meat. That was just a joke. But let's say that you wanted to make some kanthal. Now, kanthal is a blend of iron, aluminium, and chrome. So you can make some kanthal dust. But the kanthal dust will have to be cooked in the electric blast furnace. So let's put our kanthal in there, and it should start going. Oh, no, I'm going to have to hit it with the hammer. Whoop. There we go. So it'll start cooking up. So once the kanthal has been cooked, the kanthal dust, I should say, has been cooked in the electric blast furnace, or smelted, or whatever the appropriate terminology would be, you end up with a hot kanthal ingot. Now, if you try to look in NEI, there's nothing you can do with the hot kanthal ingot other than put it into the vacuum freezer to create, I guess, a cold kanthal ingot? Maybe just a lukewarm kanthal ingot, whatever that works. But as you can see, that's the only thing you can do with it. So basically, you need to have the vacuum freezer to turn the hot kanthal ingot into a regular kanthal ingot. Now, I'm going to pick up the hot kanthal ingot. I wouldn't be surprised if GregTech is going to make me take some type of burning damage from handling a hot ingot. I don't know if it does or not, but here we go. Pick it up. It's in my inventory. Yep. Taking damage. I took a little bit of damage. Oh, I'm still taking damage. All right. So we can put it into the vacuum freezer. Yeah, that's the input side. And there you go. See, it's working. And it seems like the vacuum freezer process doesn't take long. Oh, it's actually fairly quick. See that? So there is the regular Kanthal ingot, and then I should be able to handle that with no problems whatsoever. So yeah, hot Kanthal ingots will cause you to take damage. Now, I don't know if I put on my radiation suit, or my hazmat suit, if that will eliminate the damage that I take. Let's see when another one of these gets popped up here. All right, so there's another hot Kanthal ingot, and just to make sure, yes, I do have my full hazmat suit on. Take it out. And no, appears that I am not taking any damage. So good to know that the hot ingots will cause you to take some damage if you try to handle them without a hazmat suit. Now, of course, I am going to not even worry about that. I am going to just put in a nice little conduit from this output to this input, and everything will be done automatically. Well, all that effort just to make some Kanthal, is it worth it? Well, perhaps. With the Kanthal, I can make these Kanthal coil blocks. Now, if you remember back when I first made this electric blast furnace, I made it with the copper-nickel coil blocks. And there are 3 tiers of the heating coil blocks you can use in the electric blast furnace. Copper-nickel, second tier is the Kanthal, which I just made, and the third tier is the nichrome. So, and again, each one of these has different levels of heat that you can use within the electric blast furnace. So far I've been able to cook any metals that would require 1800 Kelvin, but once I replace the copper-nickel blocks with the Kanthal blocks, now I can cook any metals that require 2700 Kelvin. So I would argue that there probably is some usefulness to it, and I'm just going to take these out and put in the new ones. And each one of these blocks takes about 8 of the requisite materials. So the Kanthal blocks required about 8 ingots for each one. Kanthal, there we go. And there are 16 of them, so basically 2 stacks of Kanthal. And I put one in the wrong spot. You come out of there. Here we go. And that, and bup, and bup. And just like that, the electric blast furnace is good to go. But except now I can make any of the recipes that require 2700 Kelvin, and that's good. So that allows me to upgrade my electric blast furnace. Now, of course, not having the vacuum freezer isn't just for being able to upgrade the electric blast furnace. This was just the first thing that I could think of that to use it for as an example. But any type of the hot metals end up requiring the vacuum freezer. So for example, this tungsten steel, which is apparently a very strong kind of steel, this has to go through the vacuum freezer, you see. So the hot tungsten steel is made in the blast furnace, but you'll see here that it does require this 3000 Kelvin. I would need to upgrade my heating coils to the nichrome just to be able to do this. But going back to the vacuum freezer, there's some other things that it can do as far as with some of the cells, but there you can see there's a hot Naquata, the tungsten steel, which we just looked at, radon, if that's something, but Kanthal, which I did. Let's go look at some of the other metals. That's more of the enriched Naquata, yttrium ingots, inderium ingots, and just some various other things that you have to use the vacuum freezer in order to make. So there you have it, the vacuum freezer from GregTech, and it's all done. And that means I will be able to make these higher tier metals to do, better things. And I can work on upgrading my electric blast furnace as well. That's going to do it for this episode. If you have any questions or comments, or if you'd like to say hi, please leave them for me in the comment section down below, and I will respond to it as I get the chance. As always, I really do appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.